Beep, 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 beep. All that's new and approved. Welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. How are we doing? Warrior Teachers, right, okay. July is with us. It's actually July. I can't believe we're halfway through the year. So it's July. Warrior Teachers starting in August. Come and join us, okay? Adverts are going up as we speak. Look at the top of my Twitter profile. It's in the doobries below and all the stuff that goes with it, along with, you know, the article I'm about to go through with you. Nice drop of coffee this morning. It's kind of cold. People will start moaning now. Brits. Oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. That's our standard state, that is. It's just the way we are. So, what have we got today? This is extraordinary. I mean, I'm having a job getting my head around it all. I've just watched 9 minutes of Sarah Phillimore. Sarah of the Phillimore, who is talking on to Mike on Talk TV about what the banks are bloody up to. This is Stasi level stuff, isn't it, about banks? Oh, you can't have an account, we're not telling you why. Oh, we're closing your account, we're not telling you why. Now, Nigel Farage, you know, obviously we all know Nigel's with his beer and his, you know, getting us out of Europe. Well. But, you know, it was great because people are going, he's a liar. It's Nigel Farage. He's laundering money for the Chinese and the Russian. Yes, comrade, this is true. You know, that's, people are going saying all that crap. And then Coots, you know, Bank said, no, actually, it's got nothing to do with that. It's because he's actually not got enough money. You have to have £1 million in your account to bank with Coots. He said, so apparently he didn't have enough money. Well, he hasn't had enough money for 10 years by all accounts. And secondly, loads of people have come out and said, I haven't got enough money in there either. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. And Keith from our duty group has the same problem. This is insane, right? So this is pure Stasi level stuff, isn't it? I mean, this is, you know, communism writ large. Not got the right thought processes. This is the social credit system. Come in, okay? Get ready for it. Start using cash, right? Or barter with people. You paint my room, I'll clean your bathroom. You know, start bartering with that. This is what we'll do. This is what humans like, isn't it? Tell you what, mate. You simonize my carb. Yep, I'll mend your wife's hat. That's the kind of thing we do in it as humans. We're quite good at that sort of stuff. We need to get better at it, by the look of it. But however, now what's happened is that the Chancellor has come out of the sort of gate having a bit of a pop. So let's have a look and see what he's got to say about it, because it's the strangest situation I've ever come across. Banks told to uphold free speech after blacklisting customers holding certain views. Chancellor deeply concerned about accounts being closed over controversial opinions. This comes from The Telegraph by Simon Foy, Charles Hymas, the Home Affairs editor, and Neil Johnston from the 2nd of July. Banks are told by the Treasury that they must protect free speech amid an escalating row over the blacklisting of customers who hold controversial views. That controversial view, by the way, being sex is real and gender identity, ideology and queer theory are cobblers, right? Once you explain it to people, that'll be the majority view. It's probably the majority view now. It's just that the majority don't yet know it. How typical of the majority, right? Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor. Be careful saying that one. Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor, is understood to be deeply concerned that overzealous lenders are closing down accounts because they disagree with customers' opinions, and has asked City Minister Andrew Griffith to investigate the issue. Whitehall sources said that the result of a consultation on the subject will be published within weeks, after it was launched earlier this year in the wake of PayPal blocking the accounts of free speech groups. The controversy flared up again last week after the leading Brexiteer Nigel Farage revealed his account had been closed by his bank. A vicar was also dropped as a customer after criticising his lender's stance on LGBTQ+. This was a guy who was asked to give feedback. Gave feedback, and they said, we're closing your account. Now, you have to get your head around how serious that is. Tell us what you think. Oh, we don't like what you think. We're going to stop providing you with services. The Treasury is poised to recommend a more rigid notice period. Hopeless. Absolutely bloody hopeless. A more rigid notice period. You need to make it illegal not to give somebody a basic bank account. You need to make it illegal because going forward, you won't be able to survive without it. We're going to get more of this if we're not careful. And they are utterly, utterly wet, aren't they, this bunch of politicians? Poised to recommend a more rigid notice period if payment providers, including high street lenders, want to close a customer's bank account as well as requiring banks to provide more information about why they've decided to shut accounts. Regulators will be able to take action against banks that break the rules. It's not enough. You really don't get it, do they? It's not enough. This is seriously dangerous. Seriously dangerous. They are going above the Equality Act. They are going above the law. They are going beyond the law. And what they are essentially doing is the same as they used to do in, all these awful, dreadful communist countries. Social ostracization will stop you from being able to deal with finances properly. What we'll do is we'll recommend a more rigid notice period. Utterly, utterly pathetic. Pathetic. Which is currently the Conservative Party's response to everything is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Just deal with it. Pass a law, do it quick, right? I know it'd be bad. That's what happens when you pass a law quick, but these things are serious. Pass a law, sort it out later. That's what I'd do if I was you. Everybody's entitled to a bank account. Nobody can be refused a bank account unless, and then you go for the big guys, right? And if they do it wrongly, if they get rid of your account wrongly and they don't do it for the only specified reasons, there should be compensation and it should sting. What is wrong with these people, right? The Treasury says officials believe that the recommendations can curb excessive behaviour by banks. It won't. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with it? It will not stop them, okay? And it will not stop them because you're part of the same system. If this is all to do with this, let's get everybody to behave, these goals, and nonsense and rubbish that's going on in the background. Come on. Just sort it out. A senior Treasury source said, it is absolutely a concern. No one should have their bank account denied on the grounds of freedom of expression. Well, I'm trying to think about a reason why somebody should have a bank account denied at all. Unless there is suspected criminal activity. Why do we struggle with this? The shoe seems to be on the wrong foot. In all cases, right? It's we think, therefore we will, and we'll do it to you. It shouldn't be that. It should be, we'd like to do it to you. We think this is happening, but we're going to have to prove it. Right? So, what happened to the customer's always right? Ministers are increasingly worried that there's a trend of closures affecting customers who hold controversial political views. Mr Farage last week said his bank accounts were closed without explanation, and other high street lenders refused to allow him to transfer his funds to them. Anglican vicar Reverend Richard Fothergill claimed that his Yorkshire Building Society bank account was shuttered days after writing to the bank to complain about its public messaging during Pride Month. A spokesman for Yorkshire Building Society said the company never closed accounts based on different opinions or beliefs, adding an account was only ever closed if a customer is rude, abusive, violent, or discriminates in any way. Get it? Right? Rude, abusive, violent, or discriminates in any way. Rude, abusive, or discriminates in any way. There's the three. Violent, we can, comes in, smacks customer in the face. You're done here, right? Comes in, gives the teller a bit of a smacking. No, you're done here. Go, call the police, you're done, right? That's not what this is. It says if the customer is rude, abusive, then we've got the valid, violent, or discriminates in any way. What does even all that mean? Okay? And who decides? And what happens while they decide? Right? And so it's not if you break the law, it's if you're rude. Well, fuck them all, I say there. Oh, that makes me rude, doesn't it? Just go away. The Treasury source added, banks and payment providers occupy a privileged place in society, and it would be a concern if financial services were being denied to those exercising the right to lawful free speech. We're going to have to do something. Come on, Sunak, you tiny person. Do something, all right? For God's sake, make a declarative statement. Pass a law. Do something. It just grinds my nards that people are so useless. It also says here, under current rules, regulators expect banks to give customers at least 30 days' notice if they intend to close personal bank accounts. However, they can give customers less than this in exceptional circumstances, such as if they suspect fraud, or if the customer was threatening or abusive to staff. It's too washy, see? In its consultation, on paper, who sees a member of bank staff anyway? Everybody's doing it online, it's just insane. In its consultation on payment service regulations, the Treasury said, the government is very clear that regulations must respect the balances of rights between users and service providers, obligations including in relation to protecting the freedom of expression of anyone expressing lawful views. As a minimum, it says, It is the government's view that without deviation, a notice period and fair and open communication with the customer must apply in situations which relate to termination on grounds other than suspected or actual criminal offences, or when otherwise allowed by law. It's not enough, guys and gals. Treasury ministers last week responded to concerns raised by Conservative MPs about customers who convey minority views having their accounts closed. The fact that sex is real is not a minority view, Telegraph. Come on, do better. Right? So is that what it's become now? Is it sex is real, gender identity is a load of cobblers is now a minority view? You are full of it. So, several former Brexit Party MEPs have also said their bank accounts were shut after they were elected to the European Parliament. Meanwhile, in June, Barclays was forced to pay £20,000 compensation to Christian ministry groups after closing their accounts due to pressure from LGBTQ plus hands, knees and bumps and daisy people who were concerned about conversion therapy practices. Yeah, see, it's all got the same ring to it. Anybody mentioned Stonewall yet? What if they're the Stonewall Top 100 and it says on the box, get rid of people you don't like, mate. Tick. There you go, that's an extra Stonewall bumlick. And up you go, up the old, passage. Is that what it is? The Treasury has also given the City Watchdog marching orders to review the operation of its politically exposed persons, PEPs, regime amid concerns that its application has been heavy-handed. Politicians and others classed as PEP, ranging from British political leaders to rulers of regimes in Africa and the Middle East, are subject to enhanced checks by banks to ensure they are complying with the law. Regulatory guidance already differentiates between foreign PEPs and British politicians, who are less closely scrutinised because they are regarded as lower risk. And then there's loads of stuff about money laundering. What we're saying is that sex being real is a minority view. Get your head around that one. We're all being gaslit, folks. So you go and have a look at the article and let me know what you think of, in the doobries, as you usually do in the old chatty box, all right? And have a great day, because I'm like, is this real? Yes, we are living in a world where they're getting rid of people's bank accounts for wrong thing, and doing so and not telling them why. If that isn't Kafkaesque and insane, I don't know what is. Have a good day. See you later.